Hi everybody, Jim Sammons here from the Kayak Fishing Show. You know, I love New Zealand, and when I think New Zealand, I think big yellowtail, or as they're called in New Zealand, kingfish. On this week's episode of Kayak Fishing Tales, we hook up with Kerry Flowers, our buddies Jason and Brent, and Kerry shows us around to some of his favorite spots. Check it out.
So I'm Kerry Flowers. I'm a kayak fisherman in New Zealand. We in the far north of New Zealand on the east coast. This behind me is Doubtless Bay. This is where I mainly fish. So anyway, after a disastrous live bait session, we decided we'd go out and we'd trust that the jigs would work. So we went out to one of my good spots and all got in the water. Well, it was probably less than 10 minutes later. We were all hooking into all hooking into fish, and we started getting into some pretty decent fish.
I take that all day long, brother. Beautiful yellowtail kingfish. Nice. Yeah. Last time we were in New Zealand, sharks were a big issue. Lost a lot of fish to the shark, so brought my shark shield and have it ready. Hook a fish, just turn it on. Let me land my fish. Turn it onto here, hanging off the side, hook a fish, turn it on. Boom, that's all there is to it. I got peace of mind. Sharks are not gonna get my fish.
While we're targeting these kingfish, I've been mainly mechanical jigging. So when I mechanically jig, basically I've got a long slim jig and I've got an assist hook at the top. So all I'm basically doing is dropping this down, and I'm going to look at the sign on my sounder and see where the fish are holding. So basically I'll drop this down, and I've got multicolored string so I can drop it down below where the fish are holding. A lot of the time I do end up dropping it all the way to the bottom. But sometimes if the fish are holding high, I won't even bother going to the bottom. Once it gets down as far as I want, basically I push my drag up, and what I'm doing is I'm lifting, and then I'm getting a wind on the drop stroke. So it's lift and wind, lift and wind. So it ends up looking like this. And so you're just lifting and winding back up past the fish. And what this makes the lure do is dart this way and then dart that way and pause. Dart this way and pause, dart that way and pause. And that gets the fish really excited. To them it looks like a fleeing bait fish, and they'll come up and hit. There we go.
One of the great things about coming on this trip is that I get to share the Jackson Kayak Kraken with the guys in New Zealand. Now this boat's been here for a little while, but not a lot of guys have seen it. So the Kraken was really built for the kind of water that these guys fish here in New Zealand. Big offshore water, chasing big fish. So it's really gonna be a compliment to what they can do here. And I'm just looking forward to putting some of these guys in the Kraken. Kerry just landed a really nice fish. I slid over to where he was. He's mechanical jigging. I'm using my Kraken yo-yo iron and hooked up just up off the bottom. There we go. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! First yellowtail kingfish here in New Zealand for this trip. I'm sure it's not gonna be the last. Thanks, Kerry, for getting us on this cool spot. Bye, buddy. Boom! Yeah! Well, I hope you can see what an amazing fishery New Zealand is. I absolutely love it there, and I really want to go back. We want to thank Jackson Kayak for always supporting us on our trips and our adventures. They make the best fishing kayaks available, and the Kraken was perfect for these waters. If you haven't done so already, please give us a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to Kayak Fishing Tales.